Thursday, April 17th, 2025. You have a copy of the proposed agenda before you. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Approve the agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion of the agenda? All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed, same sign. We have approval. We have minutes from the March 20th meeting. Those have been shared with y'all. And we receive any comments on revisions or changes. So if there are none tonight, I would entertain a motion to adopt the minutes of the March 20th meeting. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have adopted the minutes. Thank you so much. Yep. Okay. All right, thank you. Then we would entertain a treasurer's report. Probably pretty simple, right?
Yep, no change except that check you just signed for Michael for $50 for his training. And it's in the outstanding unclear transaction.
Okay, so this is for March 1st through March 31st, really no transactions during that month.
Nope, none at all.
Operating account balance, $22,757.46. Same ending balance.
Well, yes, but we also have
We have a
took the
pending-
50 out, yeah.
Pending check that will hopefully clear this month. Do we have an event account anymore? What did we do with that?
No, it's just all one
We
account
zeroed
now.
it out. Okay, very good. Okay, then are there any questions or comments? And we will accept the treasurer's report as presented. All right, old business. We ordinarily would have had a website update, but as you know, one of our members, Jamie Dempsey, resigned on Monday, so we won't have an update from him. Obviously, we need to reassign the work that he was doing on the website to someone. Is anybody interested in taking that project on?
I already did it.
You already did it. Okay, good for you.
I didn't hear he resigns.
Yeah, I forwarded his resignation email on him.
Oh, wow.
And we also already asked the city council and the mayor to consider an appointment to fill his vacancy, that vacancy. All right? So, did you give me, there it is. Good. You want to walk us through this, Tara?
Yes, so I just went and set up the site structure of how I think it should be, because I really needed it for my other stuff on the work plan. That was mine, like the newsletter, which I have, and last time we talked about assigning like committees that we could all work on different things. So it all tied together, so I just went ahead and did it. So I broke it down into these that we could go over and make sure that we're good for it. I went ahead and assigned all the committees to someone, but obviously we can switch them around if no one wants, like if we don't want those committees. Like I just preemptively did everything so that we could work backwards instead of try to figure it out. And then you'll switch to the page where there's a QR code where I actually made a mock-up. So if you use that on your phone, you can get to the website that I made. It's just like generic, not like hosted or anything. So you can see what I have so far, and it needs a lot of work still, but
Okay.
you can see what I have. And after the QR code is the rest of the social media and stuff like that. But from there to the QR code has all the things we would probably need on a website.
Okay.
Is this in with the city's website?
I don't know. Once we build it, I guess the city can put it in.
Well, actually, we had agreed with the city that they would have a website for us and would put all of our materials on there.
Okay, so then we could just hand this over to them so they could do it for us then.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything from us. I've checked several
Right.
times.
Right.
So we won't build our own.
No, and which is fine. That mock-up, I just was trying to see if I could do it, but it's not the greatest in the world anyway. So If they know how to do it, this is just what we need for our page, for what we're planning possibly.
So in addition to proposing the layout of the site and the content of the site, you're proposing that we adopt these committees.
Yeah, those are further back. That's just what we talked about last time, so I have
Okay.
them. But like I said, I just assigned them with no, well, I mean, I gave myself what I wanted, but. And I didn't put you on a committee because I looked at the other DDAs, and usually the chair doesn't have a committee.
Okay,
But we can make one for you if you want.
that's
And
okay.
obviously, we will have another spot to fill with
Uh,
Jamie.
On our LDA page, we had a small business toolbox, which had resources for businesses, people who wanted to start a business or needed consulting services. It linked to the University of Georgia, the Small Business Development. Do I think we're gonna have to think about whether we want to continue that on the Downtown Development Authority website. I don't, I think I don't think it hurts, and it's certainly it could be valuable to somebody who comes and wants to find out how they can get assistance starting a business or expanding a business or whatever it is they might want to do.
I assumed that was under economic development, but we can make it its own thing under projects.
Okay,
and
well, it doesn't, I don't
initiatives.
really care where it is, but
Yeah,
as long as we make we have it.
and I
we have it.
referenced I didn't reference the word toolbox because I didn't know if we were gonna call it that, but on the newsletter I made, I did reference, like, go to our website if you need help with loans or anything like that.
Okay,
So, once we go through it and decide if it's what we want, then I guess you can hand it over to Kyle, or I can send it, I don't know Kyle, but I
Yeah.
can send it to him.
okay, so this would be something to send to all the members to be voted on next month?
I don't know how it works, I'm just doing this stuff and bringing it, y'all tell me how it works. What's up with our other members? Where's Ironetta and Braxton?
Brax is out of town. I haven't heard from Ironetta. Yeah, I think this is significant enough that we should, if not, discuss it with whoever we have here next month, and either reach consensus that it's what we want, or even vote on it. I like it, looks good. What do the rest of you think about that? Jamie? Michael?
Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
Okay, well, give us a few weeks to look at it. I don't
Okay.
think we could do anything on it tonight, but, yeah, it's good work. All right, very good. Thank you. Work plan review, is there anything that we need to add to or change on the work plan? Any accomplishments or news to put in? Okay,
Well, I did my stuff from work plan, and on the second part where it says social media plan, I made the social medias, but we're not posting yet, so I don't really know when to start or how we want to start, but I kind of made like a schedule for it, and I also did my newsletter that I was supposed to do.
okay, let me find those on the work plan.
It's right after the QR code is the social media plan.
Well, yeah, but I mean on here. Where we
Oh,
put
on.
out deadlines and
I
everything.
didn't print that.
We'll redevelop website. We're almost done. We've completed purchase business cards and name badges, carry out after-hours event, develop, produce a downtown newsletter. That's complete?
Well, I mean, I have the mock-up of it.
Okay.
You guys have to
Business
look at it.
cards, when are they, it's been approved, but when are they supposed to?
They,
We have them.
They
I
are
have
here.
them.
yeah, we just need to talk to Danny or
They're just a
somebody in
generic
Danny's office. They've
card.
got them.
Oh, they have them?
Yeah, they
Okay.
have them.
There's one problem with these cards, there's no contact information on them at all.
I think we're supposed to write it on the lines.
Is
Is
that
what-
what you're supposed to do?
That's what Jamie said, yeah.
So that we didn't have to do individualized ones.
Pass a couple of them down to, who's got them?
Here's some you can use.
No, just,
Danny in his office, I think he said. So here's my, do you want my new, here's the newsletter.
Okay.
I just set it up to see exactly what you guys want to do. And I put a fake quote from you about downtown.
Cool.
This is great. Well, I approve the quote. That's great. So how are we going to get this out?
I don't know. I think we were gonna put a place on the website for people to sign up.
Oh, to have it emailed to them?
Yeah, and then, I don't remember what we discussed as like getting paper copies out other than just around downtown businesses. At one point, we were talking about like some sort of kiosk we were putting in places. I don't remember that,
Like
exactly
that
what it
thing
was.
back there?
Oh, that thing, yes.
Could we have a slot there? All right.
Looky there. So we're gonna put them in that.
what would it cost to be in a mailer?
Mailers are, I do a lot of mailers out of my business, and it's usually like 45 to 80 cents. This would be a letter, so it'd probably be on the cheaper side, because I do postcards that are heavier and bigger.
I wonder if it's any cheaper to put it in, I wanted to do the post office, you always get the mailers in the post office.
Yeah,
Let's
it
see, what's-
might.
45 cents times 15,000, 14,000?
Oh, man.
Well, we wouldn't send it to
$7
all,
grand?
Yeah, that's
we
crazy.
probably want to send it just to like the downtown overlay.
Mhm.
On the US Postal Service, you can go put what streets you want to put it on. Or maybe just the neighborhoods and down in the city limits, maybe, is that 15?
But isn't this to let citizens know what's going on downtown? Partially at least, yeah.
I don't know if I mail it to everyone in Loganville, though. That's pretty expensive. And we'll also post it on social media.
Right. So I guess for now, let's focus on putting it on social media, getting it here, and getting a sign-up link on the
The
webpage.
website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And I
know
just-
there's a lot of people that come into the shop, and I wouldn't mind getting a big stack and just putting it.
Yeah,
These
that'd be
people
great.
pick up the,
Yeah, and when they could do the magazine, usually they bring like a box to my shop too, and so we could probably get people who are willing to put it in their shops.
because I do know the Historical Societies puts a lot of stuff out there, and I must go through, 50, 60 copies of that a month.
So when the Loganville Insider comes out, I'm trying to remember how many are in a box. Is it like 45, 40? What we could do is to have a bundle of 40 go with each box, and whoever distributes the box could actually distribute those with it.
The Insider only comes out twice a
Quarterly?
year, though.
Twice a year, in the quarterly?
I think it's spring, summer, winter, fall, yeah.
Christie sends out the Loganville What's Happening two or three times a month. Could we possibly get her to send this out to the same email list that she has?
That's true, because I think
We're
that's all
on it, I know.
businesses. It's for the morning mingle and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. It wouldn't get new, I mean, we could still send it on our own to people who sign up, but she could still get a lot of businesses.
Okay.
But this needs a little cleaning up, it's just,
Yeah, I don't think the real
Idea.
estate section is quite done.
and I saw a couple misspellings, but basically you get the idea.
Yeah, I like it. Looks great. So let's get, I don't know what you might put down here in this corner, what real estate is, but
Well, we know Braxton has two places. The sisters took their two down.
Yeah.
And I don't know much more about outside of Main Street. So I could look, but Braxton seemed to have a pretty good feel of that stuff when we've talked about it. So
Okay.
that might be something. I put him on the economic development.
Okay.
So that was something he could give to me every month.
Okay. So I think when he gets back, if you can talk to him about that, get this wrapped up and posted to social media at least. I think, because
Yes.
this is kind of a timely thing. It's got library groundbreaking game on Main and,
Yeah, I mean, I can change it too for
Right.
if we need to wait, but I just thought of things that happened in April and put it on there
Right.
so I could
okay.
give you an example.
Very good. Any other questions, comments? Okay, great. And I will find that on the work plan and make a note of it. Okay. Tara, would this webpage have a place for the revolving loan opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, we can put anything we want on there. I just
Yeah.
got it organized so it could be handed over to someone to actually get going.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can add that in under,
Whichever.
I mean, you can have its own tab, honestly. Like get funding or
Have a what?
business funding or
Oh.
its own tab.
Yeah,
So I can add that in.
okay. Okay, good. Well done. All right, then let's move on to 254 Main Street project. Just as a reminder, I was really just going to go through the expected timeline. Let's see, where did I have that? Okay, so proposals are due next Friday, April 26th. We'll do the same way we did last time and ask everybody we'll confirm that they're in the office and ask everybody to pick up your copies that Friday afternoon or Monday. And then we've got until our regular meeting in May, which is May 15th, to review those. At the May meeting, we would review them as a group and make a selection. And then from May 16th to June 13th, we would do any kind of contract negotiation or scope negotiation and finalization of the proposed work, and then seek funding from City Council at the June council meeting. This is assuming that, the price is right and everything works out, and we have proposals to start with, so. And then we would, if we get funding from the council, we would approve the contract at our regular meeting in June and begin work July 1st. Any questions on that? Comments?
Yes, the May meeting. I know I'm not gonna be here, and with Jamie gone and several others, if we don't have a quorum, then what are you gonna do?
Well, we're gonna have to have Brax here if he's,
Well, I'm checking with my wife. I'm not sure about the dates.
I mean, I know I'm
wouldn't-
not gonna be here.
I wouldn't think in May that it would be, I just don't know the calendar. I should, but I don't.
we may have to just have a called meeting when everybody can
What
make
was the
it.
date?
May 15th?
I'm fine with May 15th.
Okay.
but-
What around May 15th would work for you, Michael?
I'm gone from the 10th through the 17th.
Okay, well, we might need to do the 18th.
Huh?
That'll probably be a Sunday.
That's a,
I'm sorry?
What day's the 18th?
That's a weekend.
Yeah.
19th, Monday.
I mean, I should be back then.
Okay, well,
But
I'll get in touch with Brax and Ironetta.
if you've got a quorum, go ahead and set it up for the 15th like you got it.
Well, I want as many people as possible to have input into it, and certainly involvement in the selection. So we'll see if we've got a quorum, and then go from there.
If we don't, we pull one person in on Zoom,
That's a challenge,
Yeah.
because, well, yeah,
Mine's
it's a
gonna be a
challenge.
Sandy Zoom, I'll tell you that.
Good for you. That's great. Okay. Any other comments on that? I'll make a note.
Do we know if Ironette is even coming back?
I talked to her, and I said, I understand you're going to need to miss a number of meetings, and you were considering going inactive or whatever. And she said, well, I'm trying to rearrange my stuff so I can come to more meetings. So I've got to follow up with her and see if that's still true. But I texted her this morning, but I haven't heard from her. All right. So we don't have anything under new business unless somebody has something they want to bring up. Okay.
Oh, weren't we gonna talk about, weren't we gonna decide on the grant writer? She's contacted me like 3 times. She's already, I think she's working with the city now, the library.
Well, okay, we can talk about that. I guess that would be old business, though.
I mean, we gotta get some money.
Can we afford $10,000 a month with $20,000 in the bank?
It's $1,500 a month.
1,500.
I mean, what Danny told us when we met was that if we don't start spending our money, he doesn't really see a reason why we're asking for more. So it's gonna be a risk, sure, but I don't really see how else. I mean, other than throwing events, but if we need more people here to vote on how we're gonna do all that. But even when the stuff comes back for 254 Main, we need money, right?
Not for that project.
We don't have to go to city council and ask for money?
No, we would, the next step would be to complete the project of planning for that property,
Uh-huh.
and then using that, put together an RFP for a developer to come in and develop it. So that doesn't cost us any money.
What was Sizemore trying to charge us $80,000 for?
Well, that's for the next phase of the project, was for the planning, but that money is, we're gonna ask city council for. The agreement was that, well, the understanding was that we would choose a firm to do that, and then the city council would pay for it. Because we were asked by city council to take that project on. Because we're certainly not gonna have enough in our account to pay for it ourselves.
No, that's why I do think we need to make a focus on figuring out how we're gonna raise funds though, because city council doesn't seem, well, first of all, Danny has a hard budget this year anyway. But city council just doesn't support anything we're doing. And if we don't have any money coming in, I don't really know what we're gonna do. And all other DDAs seem to use grant programs so much so that they have money to grant. And it, like, I've been like reading about the city of Brazelton, city of Auburn. It's almost as if their DDA gives money to the city council, not the other way around. Like when the city council needs something, like Auburn just signs a 99-year contract for development downtown, and the city council didn't want to agree to it because it was like short $250,000. So the DDA has agreed they'll pay it. So you see what I mean? They can't be agreeing to pay it through city council money, so they're getting money from somewhere.
But I don't think the DDA is getting that money through grants.
How are they getting it? Events?
They all do it different ways.
City of Monroe gets theirs through rentals, special events. They get about $250,000 a year.
But they own property.
And they own property.
And how they got that property, I couldn't tell
Well,
you.
it's similar to what the city has here with the rental buildings, but instead of it going into the city coffers, it goes to the DDA.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the cities, that's how they do it. They like the fairs and fundings and concerts that we have. The ones that go on in Monroe fund the downtown district zone and the DDA. And the city council does fund the DDA also, but it's a very small part of their budget. That's why they have a full-time staff and all.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to Christy because we just did margaritas on Main or whatever it was called, tacos and margaritas on Main. And she said that she would be willing to hand that one over because it was a good turnout to the DDA to make money on, because the Rotary Club does the wings fling, and I think they have 2 fundraisers, she said, and that one makes them like $40,000 out the gate. So I think we can do some stuff like that. And if we ask the city council, I spoke a little bit to Brandon and Christy about Like, if they'll give us the town green for one Saturday a month, and we can do something little and see just how much. We're gonna have to start small. We're not gonna be able to acquire any real estate to rent out, let's be honest. But I just don't know what we're gonna do if we don't have any money to do anything with. And we can, most of the, like you said, most of the DDA seem to host all the events, and that's all on the city. Now, Christie's very willing to help and stuff like that, but they have to pay employees.
Right.
Monroe uses volunteers, and they have a huge bank of volunteers. Like, they just have people sign up and put, like, this is what I'm good at, and they just call them and they show up. If we don't have people show up, we won't have people show up. But I think we just have to try something to get some money other than ask the city council,
Okay.
in my opinion. So I thought we were deciding on the grant writer like today, but I don't know.
Well, we didn't have it on the agenda. I think we would need a written proposal to look at.
From the
From-
grant writer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's
Okay.
what I'm gonna do, here's what I expect to happen, here's what I'm gonna charge.
Okay.
And I guess the question is, you know, you heard Paul say that these are professional services and we don't have to get official bids or proposals. But, you know, obviously, I'd like the board to talk about whether they're comfortable with that or not.
We can, but I think we just need to get the people here and let's do, like, I don't know what we're waiting for, I guess that's what I'm trying to say in a respectful way. Like, we gotta do something, except for meet and
Well,
talk about it.
there's a process you have to go through. I mean, if we'd had it on the agenda, we could have said, all right, let's talk about what the process is. I mean,
Okay, I
and we can
just
start
thought-
doing that tonight if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was old business, so I just assumed that it was the agenda,
Well, when will we know anything about budget?
not until June.
Yeah.
June? Then can we go ahead and put it on the agenda for next meeting to discuss and vote on hiring?
I think that's premature, frankly. I think we have to agree on first whether we're going to put out an RFP for those kinds of services, or we're going to hire the grant writer that spoke to us last month.
Okay, I'm confused then, because I thought you just said it was professional services.
You're right, but
we
we
don't have
haven't,
to
we
do
haven't
that.
discussed which way we want to do it or not.
Okay.
And we certainly haven't decided on that. I mean, we can do that tonight if you want.
I mean, we can do an RFP. I just brought her because I knew her, but I'm gonna guess we don't know any more grant writers because everyone in this whole city has gotten her contact information from me. So everybody, the actual city of Loganville is using her. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if there's a lot of grant writers out there. If everyone, I get a call for her every day.
I have no
So-
problem if the board wants to go contract with her. I just want the board to vote on that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about grants to tell you how do we put an RFP out?
Well, you would describe what you want.
But where do you put it?
The same place we put the one for planning
We
consultant.
actually don't put it, the city.
The city
puts
does.
it
It's on their
state
website, and there's a state procurement registry
in the registry that you go.
where it's posted, and vendors sign up for certain categories of work that they're looking for. And when the RFP is posted, they get a notice to go and look at it.
Okay.
So it would be statewide
Can,
advertisement.
can we do that then?
Yeah,
I just feel like we should probably do something to get grants.
right.
Well, you know, I do like the lady that came, and her presentation was great. She seemed like she knew what she was talking about, so, you know, if we did get an RFT or whatever for it, you know, it would still, yeah, I'm still
Include her.
leaning toward the lady that
Yeah.
came in here. She sounded like she knew what she was gonna do, and how, she's done it over and over and over, and it just seemed like she had a good feeling of, you know, of positivity in us using her. You know, it didn't seem
Yeah.
like she was a money grab, it seemed like she knew
So-
what she was talking about.
So I wrote the planning consultant RFQ. But it was written by cutting and pasting and revising pieces from another one that actually Monroe did. So the easiest way to do it is not to write it yourself, but steal it from somebody else. And so, we Google, I don't think the appropriate term for it is grant writer, because she's not writing grants, but she is seeking out grants for us to apply for. Is anybody interested in taking that project on?
I mean, I will. I have kind of a lot of projects, but I'll take it on.
I can and will help with it. I'll do some research on the internet and see what we can find.
Yeah.
You want to do an RFP?
Well, I mean, that's the first
Service.
question. Do you want to do an RFP for the type of work that she's told us she does?
Well, I mean, she said she would give us a 6-month contract. I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't work in 6 months, I think we could just say we don't want to. Although, Brandon, didn't you say the city was going to do a year because 6 months isn't enough?
Danny was going to reach out to her
Oh,
and
okay.
interview her because he's in charge of all hiring and firing for the city.
Oh, he probably.
So
told me
I
that.
just got y'all two talking so you could give him her number. But it's up to Danny to hire and fire. I recommended, and me and Danny briefly talked about, it might take up to a year to see any sizable grants or anything come through, because some do. Like I know of the one for art through the Georgia Arts. Theirs is due in July and it's awarded 2 months after. So there's a lot about timing. Say y'all sign her up now, she might be able to get that one. But say y'all sign her up later on, she might not be able to apply for certain ones until a certain time of the year. So that'd be a grant writer question. That was just something that I put out there, that maybe a year might be best, just because sometimes these grant processes do take 6 months, even after applying, for them to come in. Some are quick, some aren't. It just depends.
So that's
But nothing was decided. It was just
Okay.
a
So
quick
that's
conversation.
$12,000 to $18,000. And 6 months would be $6,000 to $9,000.
If I remember correctly, she said she'd do a 6-month contract and give you 10% off if you paid up front. If we do an RFP out with her, then we're 60 to 90 days out on that.
Absolutely. So why don't we do this? Let me just throw this out there. Why don't we ask her to give us a written proposal of what she would do,
That we could vote on and make a
what she
decision
would
next
charge,
meeting.
and, well, gosh, it just left my mind. What else was in there? And then we could look at that. I think, and give us a contract, a sample contract. I'm sure she has like a template contract, because we need to look at, would we be able to, is it mandatory 6 months, or can we terminate the contract because of cause, or, what are all the provisions around our relationship,
Okay.
okay?
I would rather do that and then maybe vote on it next meeting than tie it up for 2 or 3 months and
Yeah.
RFP.
All right, so then let's take a vote on that. Does anybody want to make a motion to request her to put together a proposal, pricing, and sample contract?
Do we need a motion, or we just ask her to do it and then?
I never know. I guess if it's not spending money, we don't.
Yeah, it's not, we're
So,
not committing to anything, we're just asking for her.
so is it the consensus of the board then that that's what we want to do?
Yes, I'll make a
Yes.
motion for that. I like her. I'd like to see what she has to say in writing.
Well, I think if it's a consensus and we're not spending money, not, changing the way we operate or the bylaws or anything like that, we don't need to make a motion. So, is everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tara, will you contact her on that?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
I'll do it.
All right, anything else?
Uh,
I'm sorry.
Anything else tonight? All right, then, that completes our work. We have public comment. Would anyone like to make comments to the board? All right, seeing no interest in that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn.
He made that before he ever came in. so.
Motion to adjourn requires no second, so all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
I-
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.